Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have hard rock band Set for the Fall.
What's up?
Oh,
Back and forth like it's all just a game. But I don't wanna play, it's not right. That your love keeps me up, I'm wide awake. I need a break, push me away if you'll never change. Who do you think you are? You never thought I would be this far. We can't fight now, there's nothing left to prove. But somehow you still seem to always disapprove. Cause I've been at this for too long. You can have everything when I'm dead and gone.
Can you introduce yourselves and what instrument you play?
I'm Joey. I'm the lead singer. I guess voice is an instrument, so that's what I play.
Definitely is. I'm Harrison. I just play the guitar. I just, I whisper. I do some whispers and some guitar notes and some dances.
and I'm Hampton. I play bass. Also do some guitar stuff.
Okay. I just wanted to go around the room and just ask you a history question. What got you into singing, playing the guitar, playing the bass? Joey, you want to go first?
Um, I was an orphanage until 6 years old, and they had a choir for the that traveled, and they gave me a solo. I have been singing every that orphanage. I was adopted, but and then my dad did bluegrass. So I was always around music growing up.
My dad played drums, guitar, and he sang. So music was kind of always around the house. So I didn't really get into it much until I was probably around 11 or 12. I was like, I think I could really do something with this. I learned a few chords but yeah, it was really my parents were super into music, so that kind of happened. Then I started playing in church, started playing in bands, and I met these guys when I was 15, about to be 16, and my birthday is Friday. I'm about to be 26, so it's been a long ride together, but this is my favorite band. I'm still glad to be doing it.
I primarily play guitar. I knew from the second I saw Pantera play in Moscow in front of like a, a billion people that's what I wanted to do. Dimebag was the reason I got into music. Started listening to heavier music. I never really cared about it until then. I know that sounds cliche, but Dime's still one of my heroes amongst many. So, and then after that, it just couldn't get heavy enough. So these guys they give me shit all the time for the really heavy stuff I listen to, but it's great.
We have uh, we have these rules now where we'll be talking around. He'll be like, "Have you heard of this band called blah blah blah?" And we're like, "No, but have you heard of Shoot 'em with a knife or
Kill 'em dead 20 times. You heard that, man?
Cut his leg off?" Have you heard of them? They're one of my favorites. They're very brutal.
I wanted to ask you about some of your musical influences. Obviously, Dimebag was one of yours.
Dime was the start, and then I don't know. I got into '90s grunge real heavy, and then I had a buddy in high school. He was like, "You need to listen to this album," and it was I think it was Cryptopsy. I can't remember what album it was. And then he gave me like a Suffocation album, and then after that, I was like, "Oh, the heaviest stuff you could ever get. I want it." So I listened to a lot of black metal, deathcore, tech death, all that stuff. And then I play in a rock band. It's kind of funny, but I love these guys. I love the music we make. So
It's it's funny, like, I grew up, I had music or whatever, but my dad was had an eclectic taste, I think, too. Bluegrass, Parliament, like funk, blues, all that stuff. That's all what was listened to in the house. And then I stumbled across this so terrible, uh, you know, Godsmack, and then I realized there were Christian like Skillet, and so that's what I grew up listening to all radio. But as soon as I heard rock, I was like, I want to do this, not bluegrass, and none of that stuff. But um, I guess my biggest influences now, I still am one of the biggest fans of Harrison knows, Seven Dust, one of my all-time favorite bands. Um, and really just any of that Red State Rock stuff that was Shine Down, all that stuff. Days Grace, which is so cool because we're getting to play with some of these people that I grew up listening to now, which is really kind of a cool experience. Getting to meet them and just realize they grew up just like we did. It's cool.
I would say I'm kind of in the same ballpark as Joey. You know, he kind of grew up listening to bluegrass, country, Christian, contemporary, all of that stuff. But it wasn't until I heard, God, what album was it? I think it must have been 1X by 3 Days Grace, and I was like, "What is this?" Like the songwriting, the riffs, everything, just the look of everybody. I watched the Live in Sturgis DVD or whatever it was, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna dye my hair black. I'm getting fingerless gloves, and it's all over. It's party time. But yeah, and then blues, pop. I mean, I love everything. John Mayer is my personal favorite guitar player. Everybody kind of looks at me like, "What?" I'm like, "Just listen to it. Just give it 20 minutes, and I bet I can show you something that you'll be like, okay, okay, I get it." But yeah, everything, rap, R&B, jazz, blues, anything. I love it all.
Okay. How did the band come together?
All right. Well, the band is it's I hope it's in its final form. Let me just say that it has gone through changes. Me and Harrison are the OGs. Um, I am the original member. There were guys that came before, good friend Justin, Dan. Like we're all good, but it the touring life just for everybody having to be able to do that. Um, it started with a group of guys that I had met from the church I went to, and we didn't want to play worship music at all. We wanted to play hard rock. We all liked listening to bands that wouldn't necessarily ever be able to play in a church like that. But it started with like we all had faith, you know. Um, so it started with this mindset of we're kind of the black sheep of our churches, you know. That so we wanted to create something that was wholesome, that had a positive message, but it wasn't necessarily your cut of the mill Christian artist group. We wanted to talk about real things, not really, hey, this is how you get to this in the Bible, or this is. It wasn't like that at all. It was just, hey, we're going to write about real experiences we have in our lives, stuff. Um, we still got put in that category, just because we didn't cuss and stuff like that. And we didn't mind it, it's fine. But it's hard because we tried to start the band just as something that was outside of that world, but you know now we really do want to tell people like we all have different backgrounds, and a lot of us are Christians, you know, haven't don't have that background, but we all do have something in common. We all deal with life every day. So that's what this band started off of was, hey, we all go through struggles and we want to talk about those real things. So that's how the band started. 2012 was a group of guys outside of the church wanting to have a hard rock group that had a more positive message that wasn't really wanting to operate with the parameters of a church setting. So.
And how did you meet these two?
Funny story. Harrison, I met at a coffee shop at a local church, not the one we were going. One of the guys in the band was like, "I can't do this. I don't really want to play live shows." And I met Harrison's dad actually, and he's like, "You need to come in here and watch my son play." And I was like, "All right, whatever." We sat there for 3 hours jamming on a coffee shop stage. I called that guy up immediately and was like, "Hey, I know you've been looking for a replacement, but I found it, and I need you to show me how to play the songs." And it was like 1 month later, and he was playing his first show with Hampton. I met through Donovan. I guess they served together. Is that right, Hampton? Or y'all? Yeah. So Donovan was in the Marines. Hampton was in the Navy. And the first time we really like got to hang out with Hampton was here in Wilmington. But then there was another time, and one of my first is him throwing me down the middle like a bowling ball into a pit full of people, like just slamming through and hitting the front of the stage. And I was like, "Thanks, bro. I appreciate it." We've been friends with Hampton for a long time, and we've now brought him into the fold. He moved closer to us, so we're really excited about having him in the band. So, yeah, that's the story of these two.
Yeah, it's not a lot of scouting for members. It's usually like, have you been friends with us for at least 5 years, and can you deal with all of our personalities? Can you, if you can deal with us, then and you can play your parts, you're good in our book.
Now, how did you come up with the name for the band?
So, Set the Fall. I mean, it comes from a section in the Bible where it's talking about basically you're never going to add up to who Jesus was. So basically, this is it's like you've been kicked in the teeth. You got to get, that's what the name set fall and rising again, which means like, hey, you're going to fail, but you can get up and try. That's just basically what, like, keep getting up, keep going at it. Don't give up. That's where it comes from.
Man, it's crazy because it all kind of comes around full circle. Like as the band has changed over the last 10 years or so, or it the message kind of always stayed the same, whether whoever we had in the band, the past members, the new members, everything that statement of us just get back up. We're not perfect, and everybody tries to especially when you come from the kind of background that we did, they expect you to be perfect, and that just isn't how life works, and that's not how we are. And we're definitely the furthest from perfect you can get, but at the end of the day, we try to do better. We try to keep each other accountable. We try to be there for each other in the band first, so that we can spread that kind of message out to people when we're out on the stage or talking at the merch table.
We're just a bunch of bros, man. We like hanging out. We got to hang out this last weekend, and I mean we wanted a place and something that we could do, like I said, where we could better ourselves too. We wanted to be better versions of ourselves. Um, and we failed. We've screwed the pooch on a lot of stuff. We probably should have played this gig and didn't, and then we're like, dang, we should have played that gig or something. We've made some mistakes, but we're still here. We're making music than we were making when we first started. So we're staying true to the name. We're ready for whatever comes up.
What city are you based out of?
Probably Hickory, North Carolina. It started in Fayetteville. I want to give a shout out Fayetteville fans. I mean, that's where we got our two venues there, Drunk Horse Pub, Shop. They gave us a chance to play there anytime they had an opening slot. Since then, we're all dispersed in South Carolina. We're on Nebraska. You've been all over though. Uh,
Yeah, I lived all over the country.
I've been everywhere, man.
moved out to Asheville. Donovan lived near Hickory, near Granite Falls. Uh, then Dylan, he lives close by as well to them. So I'm kind of over. Me and Hampton are the furthest away, but just kind of a middle spot for us. I would definitely say Hickory, the mountain area of North Carolina.
Okay. I wanted to dig in a couple songs. Dead and Gone. When I listen to the lyrics, it reminds me of like somebody going through like a divorce or something like that.
Fair, fair. To give insight into that, we all when we write songs, the way we go into writing songs, we go into a studio, we write the song in the studio. We I don't know if that's the old school way. That's new for us. We always kind of had ideas. We got to work with Kurt and Chris from Attila on this. What happened was we they started writing a riff and we kind of talked about some feelings. Me personally, I almost went through a divorce. Kind of piggybacked and we talked about how relationships in our lives, previous relationships, have failed. What that felt like for all of us, and that's really how we write. We choose a subject. We kind of like dive into that. Hampton, I don't know if he wants. I mean, I don't want to put it out there. We've all had bad relationships, so it's one of
Yeah, and not just romantic relationships, but I mean even family and friends. Like,
sometimes just people you just like you have to say bye to, and or you're like you're not good for me, or you don't understand what I'm trying. For me, it was like, you know, I love music. But there was a time and point where music probably wasn't the best thing for me to do in life. I needed to focus on my family. Now, it works hand in hand. But there were times where I'm like, look, I'm doing this for you guys. And when I'm dead and gone, you get the benefits of it. But I'm doing this, and this is how it's going to be. And that's not to say that's a good point of view, but that's just how I felt. And that's kind of what I wrote my part of the song. That was my thought process. Everybody's views are in that song. So little pieces of what we all deal with throughout a relationship. So it is. You're right. I mean, you heard what I mean. That's exactly. But I feel like it's organic. You can use it for relationships as friends, but also breakups. Man, they suck. That's true to life. It's gonna happen. Good job. You did your homework.
Anybody got anything else to add to that?
For Dead and Gone, yeah. I don't know. It was such a weird experience for us because that was one of the first times we went in with these new producers and kind of wrote a song from scratch. We had only done that one time before, so those were some of the earliest ones that we just wrote start to finish that day. Lyrics are finishing up that night, vocals are getting dropped the next morning. Like that was one of the first times we'd ever done something like that. And I think it was just we've kind of always had this thing where it's like, we're back. We didn't go anywhere. We're back. Here we are. This is the music. This is as powerful as we can make it. This is about real life. This is what we're talking about. Like this was our statement to all those people that told us you need to grow up. You need to get a job, get a real job, go do something else. It's like, no, you can have it when I'm dead and gone. If I get to be dead and gone and it meant nothing, it still meant something to me. Like if it doesn't get to the heights that it was supposed to, that we meant it to get to. It's not about that. We have fun with this. So you can, if you don't like that, you can have it when I'm dead and gone.
Yeah, I mean, it really, as we were writing, that's what I love about that. Like everything just takes on a life of itself. Like it just, you get to the bridge and you're like, oh, I have this super awesome idea. What if we say this because this happened to me and I wanted to say this point. And when people were like, oh, except for the fall's done, it's like you just your mindset changes throughout the song, but like that general idea, you can basically have all this when I'm done with it, you can have it. You know, that's it.
One more line, begging you, can you please numb the pain? Just take it all away. Lost my mind, trying to just forget all of the hate. Throw it away. It stays the same, but you never change. So who do you think you are? You never thought I would be this far. We can't fight now. There's nothing left to prove, but somehow you still seem to always disapprove. 'Cause I've been at this for too long. You can have everything when I'm dead and gone. And I did nothing that you wouldn't do. There must be some way for none of us to lose. It's hard enough to handle the abuse coming from you.
Okay. The next song is "Product of Pressure," and the one thing I notice about this song is um, it stays in your mind. It's like real catchy, and just the beginning of it. And there's one of my favorite lyric lines in here. It's "ripping the mask off pretenders." I just love that line. Can you guys tell me a little bit about that song?
It's pretty much what I just said, but in a different way. Because that was really truly our. We hadn't done it. We hadn't done anything in 5 years. We hadn't put out any music in 5 years. When we wrote that song, we were like, we're coming to curb stomp anybody that gets in our way. We're here to shout it from the rooftops. We are back, and we're not taking crap from anybody. Any of these bands that have been around, because we've been around a while. We've seen bands come and go. We've seen bands hit the hype train and then just nose dive straight into the concrete. Like we've seen it all. We've seen crap on tour, bands that thought they were hot stuff and then just are nothing now. Like ripping the masks off of that stuff. We're not interested in any of that stuff. We're here for what we want to do. Yeah.
We're not here for the fake stuff. Um, we really just we had gotten to a point where we're like, look, we're gonna come back and we're gonna do what we want. All this. Oh, what should we do if we want to? Don't care. There's goals that we have in the band that we were like, we're gonna accomplish. If we want to work with this producer, we're just gonna figure out how to go do it. We're not really interested in what per se the industry's like. Oh, you got to do this. It's like, nah, we'll figure it out. We tried to do it the industry's way. It's like we might as well enjoy it while we're on this ride. So, if you decide you want to get our way, that's fine. But we'll get you out of the way pretty quick. So, you know, we were excited about working with Andrew too. Um, he's worked with Jelly Roll. We had the opportunity. We met him on tour a while back, and it was just like, wow, we're gonna get to do a song with this guy, and he's been in the room with some big hitters. And
He was in there with LJ the day before. LJ from Seven Dust was recording with him like the day before we showed up, and we were like, I don't know if I can knock on that door yet. I have bubble guts.
yeah, you're like, I hope he's not in there. Like they're finishing tracking something, and we're like, I don't want. But it was cool. We got in there and we had a really good team around us. We had some amazing people that Andrew Bayless brought in to help us get those jitters out. It was the first time we'd ever written an entire song in the studio front to back in one day. And it was just like, wow, you can do that. All right, cool.
Well, it was pretty funny too because like we showed up and we're rusty. We haven't been writing music. We haven't really been doing music. I mean, I fill in for other bands, and I'm in another band called Decipher Down. But we were, we had done some stuff. But as far as Set for the Fall goes, we hadn't done anything. So we came in pretty green. But the first second that they kind of they were in there because we had writers in there too. Like he was bringing in a whole team of people that were coming in collabing on lyrics and melodies and all sorts of stuff. So they're kind of sitting in their little circle, and Joey's kind of like popping his head like I can help out a little bit. I could I could help or something. And he was like, what if we say product of pressure or something? It needs to be pressure. That's the thing. And they were like, yeah, and they're like, okay, sing it. And he sings it exactly like how you heard it on the record. And they're like, okay, come, get in the thing. And then they're going, and then they're talking. And then, our producer, Andrew, picked up the guitar and he was like, oh, if you do something like this. And I was like, he was talking about the breakdown. And I had just gone downstairs. I wrote the breakdown before he had even got started on it. So I came in and he was like, oh, I was thinking something like this. And I was like, cool, but just hear me out real quick. Just listen to this. And if you hate it, we don't do it. We played it. Everybody went, oh, that's sick. So we kind of earned our bones with them, that's all we wanted to do. We were just like, if we can just get like an inch of respect from these guys, then that would be cool for me.
We did our Nashville song. We went to Nashville. We did it. We got our claim to fame. We worked with Andrew Bayless. So we'd love to work with him again. And hopefully that comes about. We definitely enjoyed that. It was a good experience.
He needs to stop dropping so many number one singles so we can afford them again. He needs to go downhill a little bit. Will be his comeback.
For real though, just give us that homie discount.
Your head like a cold stone eagle in my boot. I'm your blood-soaked throttle, and it's just a matter of time to the end of the line. Trying to come in the lie, already onto it. Put you under the knife, just enough for a night, like a blacktop covenant. Curb stop, sharpening your teeth on asphalt, ripping the mask off pretenders, make you remember witness notches on a concrete hit list, keeping your head down forever. I am the product of pressure.
What's your plans for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I'll take if the band doesn't mind, I'll take over. So they brought me in not only because they know me but I bring a different perspective and a different kind of viewpoint. So they definitely wanted to be a little heavier. So we went and we did some pre-pro stuff. We wrote some stuff, and then we went to Chris from Attila, and we ended up putting together some amazing songs, much heavier, much more, I'd say, eclectic as far as referencing what Set for the Fall has done in the past. And so this new stuff we're sitting on, I think, is it's going to take us to the next level. And I say that confidently as someone who doesn't really listen to a lot of this genre. But the more I listen to it, and the more I hang out with these guys, I have a new appreciation for it. And going forward, I think with these guys that people aren't really ready for the new era of Set for the Fall. We're sitting on new songs, and The guys that we have mixing and mastering our stuff, I mean, we're coming from left field and out of different genres to show people what we're capable of, and I think people are going to be greatly surprised with what we can do now. It's going to be awesome.
Yep. It's the stuff you've heard, Dead and Gone, Private Pressure, great songs, but I'm pretty sure we have knocked those out of the park. So, you know, they're definitely, we keep upping the ante. So if you like those, you should definitely like the new ones.
Yeah, for sure. And it's cool too. I mean, we're getting back into it heavy, like really putting the time and effort into making sure things are right this time. Because before, it was a different time. The last time we recorded an album was 2017. So, we haven't been in the game. Back then it was like you put out a record, you go tour the record. That's really not how things, I mean, it still is in a way how you do it, but there's so much more that you do with ads and with just being smart with your content, TikTok, all that stuff. Like you could blow up with a 5-second clip way more than you could if you signed to the biggest major label in the United States. Like it's crazy how things have changed, which is fine. You always need to keep changing or it's not, or you're not growing.
And we're back. We want to play a lot more shows. We're we're taking whatever comes our way and we're looking at it, what the schedule is this year for releases and stuff like that. We're ready to announce the next single, which, like I said, it's there. There's a lot more music to come. Um, we're going to be ready to play shows and tour on that schedule, dropping songs in between, and then gearing up again to go back out and promote that next song as well. So hopefully, the end of this year gets a little cramped for us. We're hoping to have a busy schedule this fall and winter time.
Yeah, because right now we have Capulet Fest gearing up for, what is it, June 29th is when we play. It's the 28th through the 30th of June is when the festival is, 3 days. We play Saturday with Skillet, Saint Asonia, Red, Impending Doom. It's going to be sick. So,
Yeah, we're super about that. And we're hoping to see some of our friends from some of the other bands, which is cool. And there's bands you haven't ever, I've never seen that I'm looking forward to seeing myself. But we really love the guys from Capulet Fest. I mean, they've treated us right, and we're glad that they had us back this year. And, excited to play with these bands, this lineup this year. It looks good. It looks awesome.
So when could we expect a new song? Like by the fall?
I'm hoping sooner than that. I hope. I'm hoping for a summer song.
Yeah, there's some schedule things going on with the person mixing master. I mean, he's very busy, but it looks like we'll have him very shortly, and we'll have that song. Actually, the next couple songs ready to go. Matter of planning it out. So we're hoping to get out quite a few songs this year, but time will tell. I know we will have most likely at least 2 songs out by the end of the year. So super excited about that.
The scheduling thing is the guy that's mixing and mastering our stuff. He's on tour right now, so we're just waiting on him to get back and then fine tune everything, and then we're going to hit the ground pretty hard. So.
And we got some special things hopefully in the fire too, as well with the release stuff that we're looking at doing. So we'll give everybody an update as soon as we know what's happening. But we're hoping for a big release. So
Where can we get a hold of you? Instagram, Facebook?
Either one. If you message me, I'll message you back when I can. I just went through today and I was like, Oh, there's 5 unopened ones that seem very important that I'm going to get to right this. Hey, did I leave the refrigerator running or? But no, yeah. If you message us, I'll get you a message back.
Yeah, we're pretty good about getting back to everybody. So yeah, definitely message and make posts. Whatever, we'll read them and we'll get back to you on anything that.
Yeah, I'm a comment reader. Whether no matter how bad it pisses me off to read whatever these people are saying, but I will look at it through my tears. I will look at it.
If you say you guys sound like Nickelback trying to troll us, all we're gonna do is say thank you. That's it.
Yeah, what you gonna say? Okay, John Mayer. Like, yeah, thank you. Remember when they used to be the insult at Guitar Center all the time, and I was like, okay, one of the top 5 best guitar players in the world right now. Thanks. All right, Joe Satriani. That's a very good compliment.
Um, that's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, for having and look forward to seeing you. Are you gonna be out? Are you gonna be at Capulet? Heck yeah, we want to come by and spend some time with you. And everybody that's coming to Capulet, we look forward to seeing you guys and hopefully seeing everybody else on the road. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you. Go stream Product of Pressure and Dead and Gone. In fact, go stream everything we have because it's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not as good as the new stuff that we're about to come out with, but it's pretty good.
And listen to really heavy music. That's all I gotta say. And us, of course.
Us and Stab 'em with a Knife. Your 2 favorite bands.
Good times, you know.